Hello everybody. I haven't done an aPORCHecary update in quite some time, since last summer actually. So it's the end of June, June 21st, the solstice to be exact. And place is looking really great. We've had some really rainy weather. Things are super green. And as you can see behind me, my nettles plant is almost as tall as me. I'm gonna flip the camera around and we'll take a look around the garden. So here's my nettles again. I love my nettles. It's a male plant and new addition to the garden. Little Winter, if you haven't met her yet. Hi Winter! And she keeps busy monitoring all the bees and squirrels and birds and everything. Hi Winter! And Winter have like to keep her out of my little patch over here. This is the skullcap. She likes to eat the grass and the herbs. She's a very herbal pup. We have a skullcap in here trying to keep the grass and the dogs out of it. My chrysanthemum, the bochuhua, is coming up. That's the ultimate late bloomer. That will be late fall that it blooms. And some viola, and then we have tucked in here, hopefully, here's a vervain, trying to get some of those going. And I'm wondering if that's what's going on with these little guys down here. That's more vervain. And we're weeding out of some other things. And just this beautiful nettles seed head. Last night I caught a video of this plant actually releasing its spores off into the wind, which was really beautiful. And I'll collect all these seeds. I need to cut this down and collect all the seeds and use it for my nettle seed gomasio. But this year, this plant has just gone crazy. Crazy big, crazy seeds. I'll have a lot of good things from this. Highly nutritious. Same benefits as the nettle leaves. These are obviously so big. The leaves are almost as big as my hand. We won't be eating these, but the seeds are still great. And then, so this is the front of my porch. We've got yarrow, big bed of yarrow. Backtrack a little bit. Got a big bed of yarrow over here, which is beautiful. And it likes to seep out into the lawn, and we mow it down and it just micronizes in. Nice porch. And then around here we have wood betony is huge and will bloom in a bit, and just also learning the differences between using the leaves and the flowers, or just the flowers for tincturing. But a nice relaxing herb, calm the nervous system, can promote dreaming. It's a beautiful herb. And then we've got some mint seeping in and some kind of chive plant. I like to do a gotu-kola every year. I treat this like an annual. It's just a little too cold in the winter and not moist enough, but I like a nice harvest of gotu-kola. Either make a tincture or an oil. I use the oil in my smooth skin serum on my website. And it's not just product endorsements. I actually really am proud of the fact that I grow a lot of my herbs that I use in my products, and sustainable herb practices. And then my giant oregano and the delphinium coming in. The oregano's huge. We've got some lilies coming up, which I love. Melamcanda is still super small down there. I gotta get whatever this golden ground cover is out of here because it's covering up all my plants. And same with this lady's mantle is huge. And then we have the sweet woodruff, which is also becoming pretty invasive. Everything's just growing tall, tall, tall. And all the bees and bugs all over everything. It's just been great. And the Monarda didyma. This is a deep scarlet wild oregano, and it's also really tall. And the juniper, little juniper bonsai tree is looking really good, and I like to harvest the berries off of that. And then I've got some kind of penstemon. If anybody knows what kind of vine this is, let me know. It just volunteers every year, and it looks like it's really invasive, but it's actually a very gentle plant and is quite delicate, and I don't mind it because it does some really beautiful things, and it's easy to pull up and pull out, and it just kind of dies off. It doesn't flower, so if anybody has any idea what that is, I've not figured it out yet. And let's see, my Arnica shamanosis, I've got to harvest this today too. It's going great. No, yeah, I said it right, shamanosis. I always mispronounce that, but no, Chamisonis. 1, 2, 3, Arnica Chamisonis. That is the Latin name, and it is the variety that grows better down in lower elevations. Usually you find the Arnica montana and some other species up in the mountains. I'll make a nice infused oil with this in avocado oil, and it's really wonderful for all the classic uses of Arnica, as you know. And then we've got my nice little, another unknown vine plant that I don't know what it is, but it grows in beautifully and the birds like to live in it, and it offers shade. And then another patch of yarrow here is going great, and the geum volunteering everywhere, and the penstemon likes to volunteer and spread around too. There's another pretty one over here. And then I'm excited. I planted 2 clary sage over here last year, and they seem to be doing well, but only one of them came back, and it's getting pretty big. It hasn't really gotten tall yet, but maybe there's some excitement happening in the middle, whether it'll get tall or if it'll flower. And then we have a volunteer spreading anise hyssop, which looks very similar to the Melissa that I have going on over here. And there's actually another anise hyssop behind, but I cut it down as. And then we have a Monarda citriodora with the lighter pink blossoms, wild oregano. And then I got a friend gave me another clary sage, which is establishing really well. I just put that in the spring. And I guess we had a pretty cold winter. One of my lavenders, I think this is the Provençal, didn't make it back. I need to get that out and dig away some of whatever this plant is, because there's my lavender headcoat, which makes my favorite deep purple, highly aromatic blossoms that I like to harvest. So need to cut whatever this is out and give it away, or part of it, and then give room for that. And then let's see, we have the pleurisy root, Asclepias tuberosa is establishing. It's native to Colorado, but this has been here for a few years, and I'm put it in, and it's staying pretty small, but it's finally flowering, I guess with all the rain. And then there's another, it's getting buried over here, Incarnata. Oops. Here's the Incarnata, Asclepias incarnata, and then the Asclepias syriaca, which is just going crazy in here. And this is all types of butterfly attracting plants, which I love, and this will grow up into a big butterfly bush later on, which doesn't supply all the food for the butterflies, so having the other plants around is great. I've already seen some around. Giant feverfew, need to get rid of this, but make room for other stuff, and it also spreads pretty well, but it looks gorgeous right now. Feverfew, strongly bitter herb, nibble on leaves if you've got a little headache or migraine. And then also why I want to cut this back is because I've got my echinacea over here and it's starting to blossom. And also interesting tidbit that I learned last year. Oh, grasshopper. Interesting tidbit that I learned last year about tincturing these blossom heads have a lot of the eicosanoids in it, and really potential medicine. And then my poppies. Oh my God, electric poppies. I love my poppies and can't help think of Andy Warhol. Times like these, looking at poppies, the electricity. Doing some work around my garden shed, trying to clean it up, and of course, still putting things together, and sunflowers, going crazy, getting things out. We're having a garage sale. Excited about get rid of this whole thing. The wasps love it, and that's it. And then the calendula, the Erfurter calendula, nice deep orange color. These are moving along pretty slowly. Other places where I have calendula, reseeds just great. This one I'm loving on it too much and it's being shy. It's not being super prolific. And then here is my St. John's wort. I'm so excited. I always wild harvested the St. John's, different opportunities of the mountains. And so it's nice to have my own here. And usually harvest would be June, I think probably right around now, but with all the rain and the cool weather, I'm hoping it will still blossom. Looks like we might have some luck on some catnip. Hello, doing my video. And then we have some peony and some rudbeckia. And then there's Nancy. And then this is my marshmallow plant. Thought this was a raspberry starter, but I'm excited that it's marshmallow, and we love the root, and it's very soft, and it'll have some really pretty white blossoms on it. And then I had a little volunteer. We were doing yard work and we found this, and we think it's hemp. There was a hemp farm, a couple properties over there gone now, and so we think it's hemp. That was kind of interesting to discover. And garden beds, keeping things away from the squirrels, and the bee bath. Somebody needs help. And then my giant comfrey, which I also need to cut back and clean up this area. This is perfect substrate for growing. There's purslane all over, which I love. I'll harvest some and then get rid of the rest. And giant bumblebees. I love the comfrey. Where'd you go, bumblebee? He's in there. There's another one. I could just sit and do this all day, but we'll make it brief. And then I need to do a lot of work on this. This is a struggle with baby comfrey coming up, and then the grass, of course, but I need to move this Roman chamomile's too close to the comfrey. This one seems to be doing okay. I need to harvest some of these buds. And then I've got a cucumber plant in here, and then a Chinese motherwort, Leonardus artemisia, which is super cute. Look at all that. And use it very similarly to motherwort, and I use that in my Oh My Aching Heart grief relief formula. Lots of borage coming up, and there's a red clover in here, and some narrow leaf plantain. Plantain likes to spread around too. And then teeny tiny Michael skullcap, Chinese skullcap. The root is used of this. There's two. I'm kind of waiting for them to get bigger to see if I can split them, but these were surprises. Thought they were gone, and this spring I was cleaning out this bed. You'd never know it, but I cleaned it out, and I found these two little guys, so they're coming up. I'm pretty excited about that. And then tomatoes and the greens, keep it away from the squirrels. So I think that's about it. That's it for the aPORCHecary update, June 21st. Happy solstice, everyone. Hope you have some good days planned ahead for you with the upcoming weekend. And we will see you soon. Thanks for watching.